everybody, I'm back, and I'm ready to do some Hare Krishna stuff, watch some videos, do some deprogramming, and whatever else you want to call it. I'm ready. I'm going to do some ranting and raving, and just have a lot of fun. So hey, we got Fake Human. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you here. It's always great to see you here, and we're going to get right to the opening. Because I want to get this going here. So let's get right to the opening here.
Hello?
Hello.
All right. Hey, thanks for sticking it out. Every time I see this is one of the best ones. One of the best ones right here. Every time I see this, the cops chasing the guy, and he's chasing after that Kiwi. It makes me think of Robin George, the Robin George case. How these guys had this like 16-year-old girl, and they're hiding her out. If you haven't seen the video I did about it, you got to watch the video. You got to watch the video I did about a Robin George case, and how every one of these guys wanted a little piece of this Kiwi. they were all trying to get, like, no, she's coming with me. I want her at my temple. No, I'm going to take her to this temple. No, we're going to hide her out here. And all the way across, like, New Orleans, and then off to, I don't know, Canada. They're like trafficking this young girl all over North America, just to get a little piece of that Kiwi. And that's how disgusting this cult is. I shouldn't be laughing about it. I mean, it's disgusting, but it's almost comical in a way. It's and this pretty much sums it up right there. I mean, that is such a great. That sums up this cult so well. It really does, and I love that. I think that's crazy. That's as crazy as it can be. Welcome everybody to Krishna Cult Watch. Krishna Cult Watch. I am your host. Where's my name here? I'm your host, Mike Sandoval, and I can't. I need help. If anybody wants to, donate their time, help me with this stuff. I don't know what to do. No, I don't know. I don't know what to do. But anyway. It is Mike, and I am 20 years in the Hare Krishnas. I was not a guru or a Swami or anything like that, but I was one of the office bearers of the Hare Krishna Society, which was a Ritvik organization, so I should mention that. And I did that for like almost 10 years. So 20 years total, 10 years as a Ritvik. There we go. That's the one. And I've been out for like 13 years now. So that's who I am. And so let's see. We're going to get right to, I always open the show. I try to always open the show. I don't always. But most of the time, I open the show with Knitting Cult Lady. And so today is no different. I'm going to start with Knitting Cult Lady. And she has something to say about the mission of the cult, which, of course, the ISKCON uh, uh, cult mission is this 10,000-year golden age of Lord Chaitanya chanting Hare Krishna and worshiping Prabhupada as the guru. So actually, this cult started out as a cult of personality, which is around Prabhupada, and then it just transitioned into just a cult about the mission rather than, well, it's still a cult of personality because even though he's gone, he said, I will live from my books and I'm present in my whatever, and they worship his statue and all of these things. So it's just like as if he's not gone. So it's still kind of a cult of personality. Um, but he's not the head of the cult. There are heads of the cult, the gurus and the GBC. They're worship, but not in the same fashion as he is. So it's more about the mission, and the mission is to read this guy's books and worship him and pray to him and all of these things about him, his books, and that's how you will achieve liberation, salvation, or eternal life on the cow planet, Goloka Vrindavan, on the cow planet in the body of an 11-year-old girl having sex with God. So that's the mission, is to get everybody to worship this guy so they can get the body of an 11-year-old girl and space travel back to the cow planet. Okay, so here is the cult lady talking about the mission of cults. Let's see.
This is a really great comment about the mission in a cult or a totalitarian nation, for that matter, falling apart. So he's talking about how it works with someone who was born in the USR, who talked about how his grandmother and their generation really had a hard time when the Soviet Union's mission fell apart, which was basically work hard, and we're going to get to a communist utopia at the end. And that when the mission actually fell apart, it was really hard for all of these people because there was no justification for all the suffering that they had gone through. And this is the point of the transcendent mission, right? Nobody pledges themselves to a cult leader. Nobody pledges themselves to just sacrifice or suffer or hurt for no reason. You got to have the reason. You got to have the mission that is so big. It is so important, only delivered usually after some space travel, because cults always be promising space travel, that you are willing to self-sacrifice in a constant manner, because that's what the cult is actually after. Your self-sacrifice and you breaking yourself as an individual in order to work for the cult, because cults are always about labor. Super important part of it is the suffering, that the suffering is justified because that's the price that we pay to achieve our grand and glorious mission. And when that falls away, it can fall apart real fast. And I think that's a big part of what we have been seeing with MAGA, right? Donald Trump promised that their suffering would be worth something. And then he got in office and broke that promise. And they are suffering, but it's not worth anything. And that's why it's falling apart. I'm Danielle, a scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. I've written 2 books about cults. 1 book about growing up in the Children of God religious cult before going into the cult of the U.S. Army. You can get signed copies here, or listen to me read it to you anywhere you get your audiobooks. And The Culting of America, my research book, which talks...
Okay. I don't mind plugging. I don't mind letting her plug her book. It's important if people want to read her book. So she can. I'm totally into you all going out and getting her book. So what she says totally applies to the Hare Krishnas. So you sacrifice everything, you renounce everything, and sacrifice everything for the transcendent mission, which is actually the transcendental mission of Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada, to distribute his books, and you will take on all kinds of hardship to do it. If it means, sleeping on the floor in the ashram, or, whatever it is, going out on, living on a bus to distribute his books, marching down the middle of the street all dressed up, shaving your head and dressing and moving it into the community, and renouncing everything and giving up everything. Giving up everything, that's a hardship, right? You can't enjoy anything. Now, if you're born into it, you're not really giving up much because you never really had anything to give up. So you don't know any different. But if you're joining, like these people that are joining and then their boyfriend or their girlfriend is like, hey, it's a different person now. Yeah, because they're giving up. They're not doing anything that they were doing before. That's the hardship, right? That's like, I can't eat meat. I can't buy a lottery ticket. I can't go to Vegas anymore. I can't do all these things. And then what to speak of the hardships of living on a bus, traveling around, distributing books 24 hours a day on a bus. I mean, that's just talk about hardship. And then everything else they say is karma. You're burning off karma. You're struggling and this and that. It's like pulling the plug on a fan. So even though you're not engaged in material endeavors to get karma, the fan is still spinning, so you're still getting all this karma from all the energy. Bullshit. That's just their way of just bullshitting their way around. But yeah, and who said that? And Prabhupada says, who said that chanting and Hare Krishna and this was gonna be easy? He never says it. He says we're not a utopia. We're not a come chant and be happy. Even though my book says chant and be happy, we don't mean it. We mean struggling and going through all of these things in order to suffer. In order to, that's devotional. So part of devotional service is all the heart. Like to them, to the Hare Krishnas, to this cult, everything that happens to you that hurts or is bad or whatever is karma. So it's good. You're burning off karma. You hit your thumb with a hammer. Well, that's good, because it means you didn't break your arm falling off a ladder. So you should be happy that you hit your thumb with the hammer. You should be happy that Prabhupada said you should have been killed. Some devotee said something about, how this happened, and Prabhupada said, no, for all the bad stuff you've done, you don't deserve anything good. There's this one video, I can't find it right now, but there's this one video where the woman says we should be anxious for all the suffering and anxiety and all the problems that we have, because that means we're on the spiritual path. What the fuck is that? I want to chant and be happy. I don't want to come and chant and be more miserable than I was before I joined. I mean, the material world's got its good and its bad, like anything, right? I mean, it's sometimes it's good, sometimes bad. Sometimes you're on top, sometimes you're on the bottom. I mean, that's the wheel goes around. That's the way it goes. But with the Hare Krishnas, you're constantly in a state of confusion, anxiety, because it's not real. And you're just suffering just for the fun of suffering, for the idea that you're on this mission to go back to the cow planet and get a body of an 11-year-old girl. Crazy, but this is what cults do. So you'll go out and sell these books. Going out and selling stuff on the street, even if you know how to do it, it's still work. It's still work. I mean, even if you work in a store where people are coming in to buy stuff, and you're working there going, hi, how you doing? Can I help you find anything? And that's still a job. You got to get paid to do that. That's a job. People yelling at you, how come you don't have these? And do you have any of these back in the stock room? And how come this price was this much? It was only that much last week. And I mean, So going, even if you're good at it, it's still a job. Going out and selling books on the street, even if you know how to do it, it's still a job. It's still a job. It's not fun. It's fun. If it was fun, everybody'd be doing it. And if it was easy to become a millionaire, everybody'd be doing it when it's fun and you become a millionaire. No. No. So why are these wackos out on the street selling these books? Pushing a shopping cart around the parking lot full of these stupid books. Rod or Ronnie walking around Hollywood Bowl selling these people books for making 50 cents $1 on each book so she can barely survive. I mean, there's panhandlers that work and make a lot more money than she makes selling books, and they're just panhandling. Shit, if selling books was a money making thing, I'd be out doing it. Everybody'd be out doing it. No, it's not. It's a pain in the ass. And even if you're good at doing it, which these books distributors are, there's like that Vyasek, whatever his name is, Bicycle Das, whatever his name is, who's given a class on how to sell these books. You still got to teach these guys how to book. He's got to motivate them. You got to get them out. You got to chant. You got to do all this stuff. There's free labor, people being brainwashed into thinking that this shit is something to spend your life doing. Friggin' talk about brainwash. Talk about brainwashing. Let me see. What's my next video? I got another one. I got another one. So that's Knitting Cult Lady. Go subscribe to her if you want to learn more about cults. If you want to learn more about how Hare Krishna is a cult. If you're not convinced that Hare Krishna is a cult, go watch Knitting Cult Lady. She doesn't know anything about Hare Krishna, but everything she says is right on the money. You go, well, how is that possible? Watch Knitting Cult Lady. You'll. So here's another one. I want a short one, and then we'll get to the Hare Krishna videos. But this is another one because some of you people out there, you need to understand that you're in a cult. You're not convinced you're in a cult yet. You still think it's 5,000-year-old ancient tradition based on the Vedas, based on this, and Bhagavad Gita that, and Bhagavatam is written by Vyasadeva, and this and that, and there's a demon head eating the moon. So you got to understand, the first thing you got to understand is you're in a cult. And regardless about the scriptures and Sanskrit language and temples in India and all this stuff, you got to understand you're in a cult. That's the first thing. And then you can address all the other stuff later. You got to understand you're in a cult. You've been bamboozled thinking that this is some ancient tradition from India. And, everybody in India does this. Everybody in India is doing this. No. You're in a cult. So let's check this out.
I have always been drawn to community. Being in community, building communities that I believe in. I've been a lifelong learner, seeker, total joiner. Brownies, drama club, summer camp. I was raised by fantastic hippie parents who taught me the importance of making the world better. Also bring snacks, be ready for sing-alongs. I'm incredibly organized, I'm a big connector. I've been told I have big cruise director energy. No clipboard today. I was also in a cult for 12 years. And I'm here today to protect you all from the same shit show that I went through. Yeah, you want this. My talk is rooted in awareness. I want to help you to navigate all the...
How to speak like a leader.
Not again.
Let me tell you what changed everything.
Culty groups out there so that you can seek safely. So, in 2005, I was an aspiring actress/waitress when I was invited to NXIVM, a personal and professional development program with a seemingly altruistic mission to change the world one person at a time. Big red flag. And I truly found an incredible community of like-minded humanitarians and a place where I could help people set and achieve goals and bust through their limiting beliefs. It was wonderful. But it was also a facade for something sinister, something that would take over my life slowly over a decade with a slow build of coercion, obligation, gaslighting, and control. It wasn't just a highly toxic workplace. This was a high-control group, AKA a cult. But I couldn't see it. There are so many great things about the community clouding my judgment.
That is Hare Krishna to a T. And all cults operate the same. They all operate the same.
I rose up the ranks, became one of the company's star recruiters. It was incredible. I thought that
In the Krishna cult, they're called book distributors or preachers.
I'd found the best club ever. My people, the chosen family, but more importantly, a place where I had community and belonging. Those were things I was looking for ever since I was a little girl. I had actually wandered onto the path of self-reflection and transformation without any tools for navigating or protecting myself. But I was in deep. My actual friends and family saw less and less of me. As I'd spent more money on time and trainings, and my worldview got more narrow. My language became coded. I sounded like a NXIVM robot. I was on the top of this grifty.
This is Hare Krishna to a T. This is exactly what you go through in the Hare Krishnas. Anyway. She goes on and she.
Iceberg, a NXIVM pyramid, and it truly haunts me to this day. How many people I brought in, my friends and family, who in turn brought in their friends and family through leveraged trust, till I had grown an organization so big I could open the first center in Canada, which was something I used to be incredibly proud of. Some of those people are still loyal to the cult to this day. It all came to a head when I was invited to a secret NXIVM offshoot, a badass boot camp for women only, sold to me as empowerment when it was actually enslavement. Just a way for Keith Raniere.
Krishnas have all of these type of retreats too. All cults do. They all have these reinforcement seminars and Wednesday night meetings and Instaghosties and Bible studies and this and that and all of these things.
The company's founder to brand women as if he owned them. Yeah. He also blackmailed many of them into sex. I managed to dodge that bullet. Thankfully, it was the branding that woke me up. I mean, one minute you're selling a goals program, and the next minute you're sweaty and naked on a table being branded in a secret sorority. And it wasn't the moment of the branding itself. Nope, not when I was sliced open without anesthetic. But later, when I found out that the symbol on my body was not that of the 4 elements, as I'd been told, but actually Keith Raniere's initials in a cryptic monogram. Yeah, I had his initials on my body. He literally thought he could own me. He was wrong, and I was out. But yes.
Okay, so this is a good video. It goes on and on. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna get into the NXIVM thing. But she gets into talking about why she's there to warn people and expose people, and it's important. It's important. what she has to say. What she has to say about that is important, but I'm going to do it here. I got other videos that I want to share. So some of you out there may not have seen some of these videos, or this video, actually, this video. And this is a video of Prabhupada being interviewed on TV, and it's interesting for a few different reasons that I'll get into. Okay, let me see here. Get this going here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You founded the Hare Krishna movement some 7 years ago in 1967, did you not?
Yes.
In a capsule, what is the movement?
The movement is to awaken God consciousness of the human being. The human being is distinguished from the animals, that the animals cannot understand what is God.
Mm-hmm.
And if the human being also does not understand what is God, then he is animal.
I see. And so your movement is to bring about an understanding of God among human beings.
Yes.
And Hare Krishna means what?
Hare Krishna means addressing the energy of God. Hare means the energy of God, and Krishna means God.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you were here yesterday and to attend your annual festival that was held here in Golden Gate Park, and we were there too. And in fact, here it is. A few thousand people came out to hear it. How many people are now disciples of the Krishna consciousness movement?
Dedicated life, about 10,000.
About 10,000 dedicated
in
ones.
the Western world.
Mm-hmm. Your Grace, is there any significance at all in the shaved head?
Okay. Where to even begin? Where to even begin with this? Oh man. Where to even begin? Where to even begin with this? Okay, first of all, he goes, "What is Hare Krishna? What is the Hare Krishna movement, or whatever?" And he says, "Oh, this is to bring about God consciousness." Okay, so that might be true. I mean, in a sense, God consciousness. But really, it's not. I mean, it's. When you think of God consciousness, you think, it's a spiritual, he's a Swami, and he's teaching God, he says God consciousness. So you would think that he's teaching hey, everybody's equal rights, right? Freedom of everything, just everybody's equal, everybody, no, when he says God consciousness, he means God consciousness like the Taliban. Like that's like asking the Taliban or asking ISIS, what's the goal of your jihad? And they go, "Oh, we're to bring about world peace." Isn't that's no different than that? You go, "Well, how are you going to bring about world peace?" "Oh, we're just going to kill everybody that doesn't agree with us." Oh, okay. That sounds like a plan. That sounds like a good way to achieve world peace. You just kill everybody that doesn't agree with your plan, and then everyone's peaceful. Okay, got it. That makes sense. That's basically what he's saying. How do you bring about God consciousness? How are you going to bring about God consciousness? Well, first of all, we don't give women the right to do anything, right? We treat them like second-class citizens. Women don't get to do anything. They don't even get to go to school. Women are married when they're 12 years old to grown men. This is what we believe is God consciousness. We believe it's Vedic for grown men to have 12-year-old wives. and she never has independence. The woman can never do anything that she wants to do. She has to. She's always under the protection of her husband or her father or her stepfather or her son, and she has to ask permission. And she's never given authority to do it. It's like these countries like Saudi Arabia where women can't even drive a car, can't have can't have a bank account, can't have a job, can't go to school like in Afghanistan. Women can't go to school. Women are into a forced marriage. Hey, Trey Martin, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. So he says God consciousness. We want to bring about God consciousness. We're different than the animals. I don't know. You sound, if you knew what he thought about Jews and what he thought about Hitler and what he thinks about women and what he thinks about homosexuals, you'd say, well, you sound like the freaking animal to me. How are you going to bring about God consciousness when this is the kind of stuff that you're preaching? How is that God consciousness? How is that? Women like to be raped. Women have small brains. Black people are ugly and belong in the jungle and should be slaves. This is God consciousness to this man? This is the interviewer doesn't know what he's talking about, so he's got no idea what to say to this guy. He's looking at him with these flowers and the shaved head and the stuff on his face and the robes, and he's like, oh, this guy's like, he's like some kind of weird Dalai Lama guy. What is he know? And I'm not making fun of him, but I'm just like saying he's a news anchor. He reads scripts for a living and reads the news. It's not his job to go out and find out who this Prabhupada guy is. They just told him, hey, we got this guy on the news. He was at the thing yesterday, and here's what you're gonna read. And he's like, okay.
Why aren't heads shaved?
We keep ourselves.
I mean, the guy just told him about God consciousness and this and that. We're not animals, and so his first question is, well, why do you shave your head? I mean, now, I'm not knocking the guy. I'm not trying to be too critical with the guy, but it's not his job to figure out. It's not his job to ask questions. He's reading a script, so he's saying, the guy. He says the first question is, what is Hare Krishna? What does it mean? It means God kind. Then he says Hare Krishna means Hari means the energy of God, and Krishna means God. Well, not really. Krishna means blackish. Krishna means dark blue. Krishna means a lot of things. It doesn't mean God. It's the name of this person that they worship as God. But actually, Bhagavan, or there's a lot of names that actually mean God, not Krishna. And Hare, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where he's getting this idea. I don't know where he's getting this translation of Hare Krishna from. I'm sure he's getting it from some Purana or some Vedic or Vedic adjacent scripture somewhere. I don't know. But as far as Krishna meaning God, I don't know if that is actually. I don't know. But anyway, so the guy goes right into, why do you shave your heads? Like, oh, I don't know. That gives us that make. I don't know what kind of answer he wanted from that from. See, now I'm not saying this is this was done for any reason. I don't know what the reason is. This is 1972. It says, but he says, what is Hare Krishna? What is this movement? And he says it's a God consciousness. It's about awakening God consciousness in the human being. And then he just goes on to like the shaved head and the robes, and then he even admits that it's a dumb question, like, oh, what could have been a blue robe? I mean, he's like, it's just something that. I don't, I don't know about, that. I don't know what Prabhupada's saying there. I was a bhakta for 1 month in 1979 in New York. They dressed me up in a Santa Claus costume to go out to scam money for poor children in Cambodia. Got mugged, candy cane stolen. Ho ho ho, Hare Krishna. Well, that's quite a story. Wow, that's really something. That's you were a bhakta for 1 month, and then that was it for you. Once you got mugged, you said, I'm done. I don't blame you, but yeah, imagine that. Imagine, I don't know how you got to become a bhakta in New York City, but somehow you got into this thing. I don't know if you got a book. I don't know if you met a devotee somewhere and they preached to you. I don't know how you ended up in as a bhakta in New York in 1979. I don't know how you ended up in there, but I'm sure when you joined, when you first went in there and you were like, checking it all out and you were listening to the guy talk to you, however he was preaching to you, whatever was going on, I'm sure he didn't tell you, hey, we're going to dress you up as Santa Claus and send you out and tell you to scam people for money, telling them you're raising money for poor kids in Cambodia. Just like Prabhupada didn't tell the interviewer here, these are my views on women. I'm against women's liberation. I'm against women. I'm against civil rights. I think that your Abraham Lincoln freeing the slaves was wrong. You guys had these black folks as slaves, and you ruined it by letting them go. And now you have civil rights. And I mean, look at them. They're making a big. What's wrong with you people? And then you're voting and democracy. I'm against all that too. I don't think you guys should be voting. It's democracy. People like me should be running things. The Brahmanas, the Brahmins and the Brahmanas. People like me. I know everything. I should be running everything. That's Varnashram. That's what I want. I want Varnashram. I want smart people like me that are chanting and brainwashed into this cult. We should be running the world. That's what I think. That's God consciousness to me. Varnashram. I want Varnashram. I want farms. People living on farms. Everybody's a farmer. These cities are hell. All you malechas and yavanas and rakshasas, and if you're not following me, then you're pretty much a demon. That's what I think. And that's what he thought. And why didn't he say that? Why didn't he say that? This is God. This is God consciousness. This is what I say in my books. Bhagavad Gita, page 1. I mean, I spell it all out. Bhagavad Gita. Women are the problem. They're Maya. They got liberation, so now they're having sex, having kids that nobody wants. Men can just have sex and then leave, which is okay if you're my disciple, but if you're not my disciple, I look down on that. But if you're Tamal Krishna, then hey, you can get a wife and you can marry her, and then I'll give you sannyas and you can leave her and go take off, and that's fine. It's fine if you're my disciple, but if you're in the material world, then I look down on that shit. It's like having the Taliban on and saying, hey, so what's your idea of religion? And they're like, oh, well, women don't go to school and we marry off our little girls at 10 years old, the grown men with beards and turbans and, and with guns. And if you're not Islamic jihadists, then, we kill you. I mean, what good are you? We don't need you. That's our idea of religion. They might as well have done that. Got Prabhupada, well, why the shaved head? That's what he really thinks. Prabhupada said that there's no women mathematicians, no women philosophers, no women doctors, no great women have ever done anything, Prabhupada says. All men. That's his idea of religion and God consciousness. His idea of God consciousness, and look, the guy interviewing him is black. It's a black guy interviewing him. Probably didn't like black folks. He thought they were ugly. He told his disciples right to their faces, black people are ugly. They belong in the jungles. They never should have come out of the jungles. They never should have been given freedom. They never should have been given civil rights. He said if you build a library, black people just go for drinking. They don't go for reading or anything. That's what this guy said. Why didn't Prabhupada tell him that? Why didn't Prabhupada say, hey, my idea of religion and God consciousness is you black folks belong in the jungle. I don't believe in equal rights. I don't believe in rights for women. I don't believe in equal rights for black folks. You guys never should have been given freedom when you were slaves. America had that problem solved, and what they do, they went and freed the slaves and fucked that all up. That's what Prabhupada thinks. This guy don't know it. This guy don't know that Prabhupada's talking about Negroes this and Negroes that. 1972, Prabhupada's talking about how Negroes were just a big problem, big pain in the ass. And all his disciples, racist-ass disciples, saying the same shit. Oh, who are they? There's dangerous animals in Detroit? Yeah, it's the black people. Oh, that's funny. That was a funny joke. Yeah, funny joke, Prabhupada. You're glad you're our spiritual master. We can make racist jokes with you because, if you were the Dalai Lama or something, you'd probably look down on that racial shit. But hey, you're white supremacists just like we are, so, who cares? These South American ex-devotees, disciples of Paramadwaiti Swami, have all quit and finally realized there are no real gurus. They're now telling the world of how they got scammed by this cult. Well, good for them. Good for them, because all these ISKCON gurus and ISKCON sannyasis and whatever that left Prabhupada, and I'm not saying you got to stay dedicated to Prabhupada. I'm not saying that you got to stay in ISKCON because ISKCON is just as fake and phony and pedophilia. But what I am saying is that these guys that did leave to go off and start their own shit, they're just as bad, if not worse. I mean, it's the same shit. They're not fooling anybody. There's Paramedwades, Swami, and a Tripurari, and Siddhasarupas, whatever, and this guy and that guy. You know, that bullshit. It's the same bullshit with a different fucking hat on. They all claim their lives have been destroyed by the cult, and their lives have been dead. They're victims. They're perpetrators, but they're victims. I mean, they woke up. They woke up, and that's great. That's great. And their lives have been destroyed. Just like my life was destroyed. Not destroyed. I lost 20 years. Those 20 years, I just threw those 20 years in the fire, and then they just went and just burned up and were gone. And now I'm this old guy. And when I joined, I was like in my 30s, and now I'm sitting in my 60s. And just 20 years just gone. Bring jungle to the city instead. So now Prabhupada's sitting there looking at this black guy, interviewing him, thinking, ain't got no white people that could do this job? They showed a picture of Obama shaking hands with Radhanath Swami years ago. Yeah, Radhanath Swami is a big fucking scammer, man. He's a big scammer. What the fuck does he know? He knows how to scam people. He knows how to do that. He knows how to scam people. Because he's got no conscience. These people got no conscience. They sit there and they like scam people. Probably sit there and tell him, oh, I talked to Krishna. Krishna directed me. Krishna wrote these books, not me. You know Krishna didn't write those books, dude. Come on. If anybody knows Krishna didn't write them, it's you. If anybody knows, we all know Krishna didn't write them, but if anybody knows Krishna didn't write them, you should know Krishna didn't write them. And you gotta sit there and tell me, look me in the face, say Krishna wrote these books. Demon head eating the moon. Might as well tell me a demon head's eating the moon. Or if there's a guy sitting in a mountain, 5,000 years old, I was talking to an elephant-headed guy, writing down the Vedas. And then Sri Dayananda Swami, Harvard dumbass Goswami, going to go to Harvard, and there's a reason, for that, because a lot of religious people can be very smart, very educated, know a lot of stuff, but they're stuck on the scripture says. The scripture, I believe in outer space and the rocket science, and I believe in all of these things, these scientific things. But you know what? I also believe in this scripture thing that there's, this God that's going to salvation, whatever. And that's fine. If it doesn't affect anything, go ahead and believe it. I don't care, because we all believe stuff in our own minds. We all have our own thing, but it doesn't mess up, and it's not dangerous and wacky and harmful to other people the way that this is. I mean, a guy that believes that the earth is flat, and he doesn't believe that the earth is round, and he just believes it because he just believes in conspiracy theories. Okay, fine. Go ahead and believe that if you want. If you want to believe that, fine. Go believe it. It's not hurting anybody. It's not hurting me. It's not hurting anybody. You want to believe the earth is flat? You want to believe we didn't land on the moon? Hey, knock yourself out. But when that stuff starts affecting other people, like, you're going to be like, well, vaccines don't work and they cause problems, and you want people to start believing that. Now you're preaching that to other people, and you're getting people to reject vaccines, and now people start dying and getting measles, and there's outbreaks of all kinds of preventable diseases because you're spreading this information and the vaccines are dangerous and they're harmful, then that's harmful and hurtful and dangerous. I mean, it might be your freedom of speech to say vaccines don't. It might be your freedom of speech to say like, but that's dangerous, harmful stuff. Same thing that this guy is doing. It might be legal what he's doing. He might have freedom of speech to sit there and preach. Black people belong in the jungle, and black people belong in this, and women are less intelligent. Women have small brains. They like to be raped. And then people start acting on that shit. Pretty soon you're anywhere near a Hare Krishna temple, and it becomes the rape capital of the world. And child molestation capital of the world, and child marriage capital of the world. Anywhere there's a Hare Krishna temple, you know what's going on there: child marriage, pedophilia, and scamming. Guaranteed. It's built in. It's built in. It's built into the books. The books spell it out. Their books are like a roadmap to friggin' mental illness and how to scam people. I was a regular Hatha exercise student, got sucked into Sunday Feast after watching the chanting mob on Broadway. You're going to stumble if you do the Hari Rumble. I got used, but quickly saw the scams. What happened here? Back to live mode. Wow. So there you go. Right, taken right from the right first-hand experience. Someone knows. They were doing. They're doing some yoga, doing some whatever. Went to a Sunday feast after watching the broad. Like, hey, just interested. Had an open mind. That's just another way of saying, hey, I had an open mind. But luckily, you were smarter than me, and you got used and quickly saw it was a scam. It took me a little bit longer. It took me a long time because I was actually thinking it was a real spiritual movement, a real spiritual thing that I was part of, and I was gonna give it a go, and so I got used that way. But it was I spent a lot longer than just a month or two, and that's my fault. What can I do? What can I do? What's my next video? I got some more good videos here. Okay, so this guy, I don't even know what he's talking about, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It absolutely does not matter. I don't give a fuck what he's talking about, but
But some of the things we'll have to do to make this possible. Then I came to the editing department. I said, Papa, right now our editors are too slow. I would like your permission to bring Hare Krishna wherever he is in the world, bring him here for those 2 months. Papa said to me, oh, he is excellent. Do it at once. Bring him.
Wow.
Bring him because he is an excellent editor.
Wow.
So that was in 1975.
Right.
So all this nonsense that Hare Krishna was this and that, Prabhupada had great connection with him. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, I gave Jayadvaita the 5 volumes of Antya Leela. I gave Hare Krishna.
Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know who this guy is, this is Ramesvara. Okay, this was a guru. He was one of the 11 Ritvik gurus that Prabhupada made into. They were sannyasis, or Prabhupada's top 11 guys. He made them gurus and they could initiate on Prabhupada's behalf. He gave them that authority to do that. When Prabhupada left, they assumed the authority that they could become gurus on their own, based on Prabhupada's teachings in his books. And they weren't wrong. They absolutely weren't wrong. But it wasn't just these 11. If they are authorized in Prabhupada's books to be gurus, then others are authorized as well. It's not that they were somehow the special 11. But that's what they said. They said they're the special 11. And so therefore he was one of these special 11. As a self-appointed kind of guru, who then, after so many years of pretending and cosplaying as a guru, as a holy man, being worshipped like he was God, this guy got caught with an underage girl, dating an underage girl. And it wasn't just a fall down. See, this is where people get confused. They get confused between a fall down and just breaking your vows and just saying, fuck it. A fall down is making a mistake and falling down, doing something wrong and recognizing it and correcting it, moving on. If you fall down and you don't recognize and correct it, and it's what you're doing, it's not a fall down. You're basically breaking your vows. You're saying fuck you. Because now it's not like you fell down and then you go, oh, I fell down. I got caught with this girl, or I did something wrong. And now no, it's you fall down and you go, oh, I'm going to cover this up and I'm going to keep doing it until I get caught. Okay, that's a completely different thing. It's a completely different situation. And that's why I say it's all bullshit. There's really no such thing as a fall down. And you want to call it a fall down. You want to say, okay, well, I was chanting I was out on a japa walk and I was chanting my rounds, and I had sex, or I smoked a joint, or I bought a cheeseburger, and then I went right back to and then I kept chanting my rounds, and I went back to the temple, and that was all I did, and nobody knows I did that, and I just did that, and it was just that one time thing, and then I want. You could say that's. I wouldn't even say that's a fall down, because if it was a fall down, you'd be like, oh my God, and you would go and you'd go tell the temple president, oh my God, I've had a fall down. No, you're like, no, I don't want anyone to know. I don't want anyone to know I did that. So there's a consciousness of guilt. Now it's a whole, I got to live my life as if I didn't do that, and just forget about it somehow. That's not really a fall down. That's just a symptom that exposes that this is bullshit. The probably wants to say, oh, the fall down or this or that, but even he never says that. Probably never said that someone can go and that a guru can go and start dating a 13-year-old girl. Come on, a grown man with a 13-year-old girl, and he's sneaking around, and I mean sneaking around, okay? If you don't know the story about this guy, you gotta Google it. You gotta find out about it. I mean, you can just listen to it from me, but if you don't want to believe me, and that's fine. But this guy was dating a 13-year-old girl. He was picking her up. He was taking her to the mall. He was taking her shopping. He was taking her to the movies, taking her to dinner, whatever. these things he was doing over a period of time. He was doing it so much that his disciples found out he was doing it. They suspected he was doing it. They were following him. They knew he was doing it because they were following him. And then they got up the nerve to confront him about it. They confronted him. They said, "What are you doing?" They caught him at the mall, at the 3rd Street, whatever, this guy. They said, "What are you doing?" He had a wig on. Dressed in, he's a guru. This guy's a guru, man. He had a wig on. He was dressed in carmy clothes, regular street clothes, with a wig on, with an underage girl going to see a movie. That's your ISKCON guru right there. So what does he do? So they catch him. So what does he do? He leaves. He does the honorable thing, which is what he should have done, is he leaves. He says, "Okay, I'm out of here." But he runs off with some money. You don't expect him to just take off, right? He's got to have some money. So he steals money from the temple, I guess, the BBT or whatever, because he's in charge of the BBT. So before he makes his exit, he makes sure he's got a little golden parachute, a little retirement fund. Like, hey, I didn't put in all these years with the Swami to just be booted out because I'm having sex with a 13-year-old girl. I gotta get some money out of this motherfucker. So he runs off with underage. Takes money, takes the money, runs off. I don't know if he runs off with the girl or not. I don't remember. So he bails out for like 10 years, 12, 15 years, whatever. And then he comes back, and now look at him. He looks like he's got some health problems. He's in a wheelchair. He's in India. He's at the retirement home, the Hare Krishna retirement home for old pedophiles. He's in the old pedophile home and talking about the old days.
The 9 volumes of Madhya Leela.
Who
He
cares?
did not finish first.
If this was a real spiritual organization, who would have this fucker around? Nobody would have this guy around. They'd tell him, "Get the fuck out of here, you child molesting piece of shit. You scammed everybody. You scammed all these people telling them that you were a pure devotee when you knew fucking good and well you weren't a pure devotee. And then you run off with an underage girl, which just proves you're not a pure devotee. So you do the honorable thing and you leave. You get the fuck out. Go. No. Now you're going to come back. Which just proves more that you're a fucking piece of shit. Because now you want to come back and scam more people. And scam your old disciples again. And scam new people again. And get your free room and board. These fuckers, I hate these pieces of shit. All the damage that they do. And he's still living like he's a fucking goddamn guru. Wacko Jacko. Absolutely. Hayden, good to see you here, man. Man, good to see you here. Insane asylum. Fucking insanity. And these people let him back in and they walk. Look, he's got people following him around, people pushing him in his chair, people listening to him and filming him, and they want to know what, hey, you're an old timer. He's like, this is fucking disgusting. Fucking disgusting. Free lodging, free food, free status in their hierarchy, only for men willing to abuse women in exchange for cosplaying as celibate saints. They're criminals. Absolutely 100%. 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. Free lodging, free food, free status in their hierarchy, only for men willing to abuse women in exchange for cosplaying as celibate saints, and they're criminals. They're criminals. These people are criminals. Criminal organization. Absolutely, man. Friggin' A, man. Absolutely. I don't even need to hear what he's talking about. The Gita, something about the Bhagavad Gita, like.
Oh my Krishna.
So that was part of how the 17-book marathon happened.
Oh.
Prabhupada's blessing on both Hayagriva and Jayagriva. So Hayagriva has a place.
He knows 100% how this is all a bunch of bullshit. Because he was pretending to be a guru when he wasn't a guru. He knew he was pretending. He knew he wasn't shit. Then he ends up actually showing that doesn't work by running off with a 13-year-old girl, breaking his vows with a underage girl. Man, he didn't just run off. He didn't just leave. He didn't just have sex. He ended up running off with an underage girl. And these people are they still want to hear what he has to say. Still think he's some kind of whatever. Fucking disgusting. How can you hang around with these people? People that do this. This organization that lets him stay. They couldn't tell him, hey man, you're not welcome in our properties, dude. You broke your vows, you covered it up, you scammed us, you scammed your disciples. We already dealt with you once. Now you want us to deal with you again? Now you're going to be hanging out on our properties, giving lectures, talking, causing a commotion. People are going to come to you and they're going to start following you again. And then what? You're going to bounce out again and harm a whole nother generation of people? They don't give a fuck. They don't care what this guy did in the past. What about all the disciples that he had that when he bounced out, they were like, fuck this bullshit, I'm out of here. And then their spiritual lives are ruined when they were totally happy before they even met this guy. Then he comes in and destroys their relationships, whatever, so people can follow him. And then he bounces out. And the trail of destruction that this guy is responsible for, can you even put it into words? All the people that he deceived, scammed, took money from, all the families that he broke up because somebody joined because of him, wanted to follow him, thought he was the best thing on the planet. This guy, this piece of shit. And now he's back in all his fucking piece of shit glory that they can heap on this turd. They just can't get rid of these people. They just can't get rid of these people. They just can't. Man, I don't care how good of friends I am with someone. If I find out they're like raping little kids, or chasing after underage girls, 11-year-old girls, 12-year-old girls, they're hanging out at a elementary school. I mean, I'm sorry, dude. I made a mistake. Here I thought you were like a normal guy, but that's my bad. I thought you were normal. Unless you're following these people around, watching them 24 hours a day, you don't know what somebody's doing. But when you find out what they've done, what they believe in, what they're reading, That's what I'm saying. The guy's reading books where he's talking about little girls having sex with Krishna. Krishna's stealing their clothes. They're coming out of them when they're covering up their pubes. Ramananda Roy rubbing his hands all over these little girls. Right? There's a lot of stuff going on in these books. Women are less intelligent. Women have small brains. 12-year-old girls should get married. 11-year-old gopis having sex with all of these things. And then you get guys like this acting out, like actually doing this shit with underage girls and doing it. And you gotta just say, you're gonna tell me there's no correlation between all the bullshit in their books and the fact that it doesn't work? It's all a bunch of crap. And then you got a friggin' pedophile guru epidemic. I mean, if he was the only one, you'd say, okay, we had one. These guys are like fucking a dime a dozen. You go to any Hare Krishna temple, I guarantee you there's a friggin' pedophile there. I guarantee it. Temple president, temple commander, the bhakta leader, the guru, the pujari, the cook, somebody there is fucking with the little kids. You can't tell me any different. I don't give a shit. After I learned I was given the wash water to drink of the totally insane Satsrup Goswami, I wanted to puke. Plus, I wasn't into wiping my shitty asshole with my bare hand. So, there you go. See, I'm not joking about this shit. People think, nobody would ever comment when I would talk about this, that this is what they want you, this is what they want you to do. Why the fuck I gotta wipe my ass with my hand? Why are you giving me a hard time about using toilet paper? What the fuck is your problem? Toilet paper is Maya. Toilet paper is Maya. Just wipe and wash. Wipe and wash. It's so much cleaner. It's so much cleaner. They go, what's wrong with wiping with my hand with paper and then washing? Why I gotta get shit all over my hand? Now I learned when you go to Vrindavan, back when I first went to Vrindavan, there is no toilet paper. And even if you had toilet paper, there's no place to put it. So you end up with a bunch of shitty paper. So basically, where I was the first time I went, I had to wipe my ass with my hand and then wash my hand. That's what we did, because that's what, even in my guest house. But once I got home, once I'm somewhere where I could use toilet, why? Or just use a butt blast or a hose to wash it. I mean, I've been using the butt gun for so long now that that's totally normal, and it's so clean. It's so clean and so natural and so normal that I can't even fathom even using toilet paper. But when I'm in Los Angeles, they're trying to tell me I can't use toilet paper because it's Maya. And I'm like, is this a joke? Are you trying to pull like some kind of weird joke on me? That I'm in Los Angeles. It's 1995. I'm not supposed to be using toilet paper. I mean, I'm not. That's insanity. This is the first. You're the first person. I've been doing this for almost a year and a half. About, I guess. You're the first person that is, because I'm thinking like, hey, am I misremembering this about the wiping my ass with my hand? Am I misremembering? Is this a Mandela effect? No, it's not. No, it's not at all. Not at all. And that's, again, it's like, yeah, it's spiritual and it's hardship. Yeah, I don't want to wipe I gotta wipe my ass with my hand. And in India, I seen these guys in India drinking cow urine. I seen him doing it. These Indian guys drinking cow urine. It's crazy. But don't ask me to do it. Hey, from South Africa, Ian Gordon, how you doing, man? Glad to see you here. I hope you're not in the cult. I hope if you're in there, you're trying to get out, and I help you get out. I help you get out, man. Okay, so that was Ramesvara. Oh my God, what a friggin' nut, huh? And then, okay, so here, this is not a Hare Krishna, but of course, Raphael has been sending me these videos. So thanks to Raphael for sending these videos out. Thanks, buddy, because these are really some good videos. Here's another one, and this one's a good one too. This guy might as well be a Hare Krishna, but he's not. He's in a different sampradaya, but it's the same thing, same crap.
So it was a time that Guruji was showing me in different ways that he could read my mind, that he could know what I'm thinking or what I'm doing even. But I didn't still believe 100%. I was still with doubt. So one time happened that Guruji is in India. He's traveling, he's celebrating Holi there. And I'm in my room and I'm in front of my improvised altar and I'm remembering a very painful situation in my life that happened a few years ago, and I didn't fully accepted the situation. I was still emotionally attached to that, so every time I was thinking on that situation, I was crying. So I'm there in my room thinking about the situation, crying, and I out loud said, "Krishna, were you with me at that moment when this happened?" And just 4 or 5 seconds later, Guruji from India sent me a WhatsApp message saying yes with a heart, and was not part of a conversation that we were having because Guruji was talking with me every 3 or 4 months for specific topics. So it was out of the blue. And
Guruji actually replied to the wrong conversation. He was actually replying to someone who had asked him a question about, "Are you hungry right now?" And he was in the wrong chat. He was in the wrong text message, and he was like, "Yes," with a heart, and he sent it, and he was like, I sent that to the wrong. Oh, I sent that to the wrong guy. And so then he gets it, and he's like, "Oh, yes, yeah. Oh my God, it's a magical mystery. It's a magical mystery."
Instead of Guruji, and he showed me how much he is present in the life of the Bhaktas, all the struggles that we go through. He knows all of them. And when I asked him, why did God, Krishna, destroy my heart?
It was a good thing he didn't. It was a good thing he didn't send a no with like a thumbs down thing. If the other person had sent him a question saying like, do you want to eat right now? Are you hungry? And he just ate, so he sends back a thing and it says no with a thumbs down, and then he sends it to him by mistake. And when he asked the question, "Were you with me when I was crying?" Were you with me? And he gets a text message from his guru, and it's like, "No," with a thumbs down. Oh man, I would have liked to have been there when that happened.
Hard back then. If today he asked me to bring my heart back to him. So another time I have something in my mind that was really worrying me, that my best friend in Argentina, him and his girlfriend, they were both diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And I was feeling really bad about them. One time during a darshan, I had the opportunity to ask Guruji help for them. And Guruji gave me 2 bags of manifested vibhuti. Vibhuti is a holy ash. It represents the remnant from the yagnas, from the holy fires that are performed. So the remnant of that fire, the white ashes that stay on top, that is being packed, and Guruji used to give it during the darshan. And I was about to put it together into a bag, and Guruji stopped me and he said like, "No, this one is for him and this one other is for her." I packed them safely, and a few months later I came back to my country in Argentina and I went to visit my friends. And then one night I opened myself and I told them that I spoke with Guruji. They are not in this path, but they still were open to try things. So we did just like a moment together, a tea, and they drink this ashes, is vibhuti, also in like in a tea, and they drink it. And life went on. And amazingly, after now 6 years from that situation, both of them, they got cured. Back then, stopped the medication because it was not working for them, was more painful and was creating more trouble. So
All right, I can't. I can't. Oh my God, my evil twin. He always shows up. I can't go on with that nonsense about cures. I don't want anybody who accidentally sees this video thinks that they can buy some holy ash, some vibhuti, holy ash, and then drink it, and it's going to cure their cancer or whatever, multiple sclerosis or whatever. I can't in good conscience allow that to go on. So please don't do that. If you're watching this video, please don't do that at all. Hey, you're welcome, man. Glad to see you here. Really. Hayden, he's the new chosen one. Yeah, evidently this guru's got some powers. I mean, I don't know. He's got some powers. It's always the goddamn mystic crap that they use that all the time to prove Narayan was a real guru. They all have dreams with their gurus, telepathic connection somehow. Yeah, it's always something, man. It's always something. And the thing is that when it happens to them, it's real. But when it happens to you, it's not real. Like if Prabhupada comes to Gaurahari and tells Gaurahari that he's guru, then that's real. But if Prabhupada comes to me and tells me that he's a scam, then that's not real. That wasn't a real, that was just a dream. Prabhupada didn't really come to me and tell me that Gaurahari is a scam. That was just a dream. But when Prabhupada comes to Gaurahari and tells Gaurahari that he's a guru, then that's real. That's real. But when Prabhupada comes to me in a dream, or I just dream that Gaurahari's a scam, that's not real. That's not real. Somehow Gaurahari's dreams are real, but all of our dreams are just dreams. Isn't that weird how that somehow happens? It's always like that with these guys, you know? It's always like that with these guys. Delusion on steroids. Total delusion on steroids. It's like Gaurahari's going to say, well, that podcasting guy, he's not connected to this parampara, so he doesn't understand how I can blow my nose and it's transcendental. But I am connected to the parampara. I had an initiation. And so I was connected, and I got all the transcendental information. It just all flew right through me. I did my swahas. I did my mantras. I did it all. Put my banana in there. I cooked my banana in the fire. I'm just as qualified as any of these other nuts. So when his argument that well, he's not connected to the parampara, or he's this or he's that, and he doesn't understand transcendental knowledge, and he doesn't understand how I can blow my, he's full of shit. I understand better than he does. Because I can understand from not being in the cult, and I can understand from being in the cult. I have both visions. He's only got one vision, which is out of his ass. That's his vision. There is this one event where it's claimed Narayan Maharaj was in two places at the same time. Where is the proof? Narayan Maharaj. That's funny. That is some funny. Even if I dream of these gurus, it doesn't change the fact that they teach illegal things and ruin people's lives. Right, exactly. I don't even have to dream that. I don't even have to dream it. It's just a fact. It's not even a dream. It's a fact. Gaurahari is ruining people's lives. And this one just came to me again from Rafal, and I really like this one. I really like this one. Let's see what we got going here. Okay, I'm not even going to say anything. I was going to just. Okay, so I got to stop it already because they're singing, they're singing Prahlad prayers. You know, Jai Prahlad, Prahlad Maharaj, Jai Prahlad. Now, Prahlad Maharaj is, of course, his father was Hiranyakasipu, who was a great demon who Nrsimhadev killed. And not only did Nrsimhadev kill, he killed everyone. He killed everyone that was there. When there was no one left, then he took Hiranyakasipu, put him on his lap, and killed him. He killed everyone, including the children. He killed all the children. When we did the play at the LA Temple, my daughter was in the play, and she played one of the children in the play, and all the children ran up one by one and tried to kill Nrsimhadev, and Nrsimhadev killed all the little kids in the play. Don't tell me that he doesn't kill the little kids. He kills the little kids. So he kills the little kids. Okay, let's go back. See this again. Okay, so what's happening there is this this Bollywood actress got a new Lamborghini. She took it to the ISKCON Juhu Beach Temple, where the pedophiles go, and they're blessing it with pedophile prayers. I guess I don't know what I. So they're blessing her car, her Lamborghini. The ISKCON guy there is blessing her car and singing the Nrsimhadev prayers and prayers to Prabhupada. Ancient air, parampara. Yeah, it is this total make-believe. So evidently this parampara is so powerful that if you take your car, if you take your Lamborghini to the ISKCON temple, Prabhupada, and you say prayers to Prahlad Maharaj and Prabhupada, they will bless your car. Prabhupada and Prahlad Maharaj will bless your Lamborghini. The people that preach renouncement and giving up material desires and material activities and material possessions, and you shouldn't own anything. You shouldn't have any. If you happen to have a $1 million Lamborghini, and you're in like the poorest country on the planet, one of the poorest countries on the planet, and you have $1 million Lamborghini, just take it on over to ISKCON, and they'll be happy to bless it for you with flowers and Prabhupada prayers and prayers to Prahlad Maharaj. It's totally normal, totally normal. Probably, the lady's got her car. Her car could probably feed everybody in that little area there. It is probably one of the most obscene things to see someone taking their $1 million Lamborghini in India. And I'm not saying, like she shouldn't. Yes, I am. She's an actress and she has millions and billions of dollars for that. And she wants to flaunt it with a Lamborghini when she lives in one of the poorest countries, one of the poorest, and she could be doing, I'm not saying she doesn't, let's say she has, $100 million and she's like, hey, I give away 10 million. I already give away 10 million if she does. And I bought $1 million car. You know, can't I have $1 million car? Yeah, you can have $1 million car. I just don't know if I would feel comfortable flaunting my $1 million car in a country where people are starving and hungry and poor. I mean, and even, you know, I don't know. It's a weird, it's kind of a weird thing. I don't know. I don't want to be too critical on this. I don't know how not to be. I don't know how not to be. But hey, you want to, you know, I'm sure she's paying them for the service. But yeah, hey, there you go. There you go, man. That's the one, man. That's the one. That's the one, man. Man, it's insanity. It's insanity. We're saying Palad prayers and Prabhupada prayers to a car, to $1 million car. That's, I don't know where this temple is, but I'm sure there's like some hungry people. They're in the car is the car is getting ecstatic feelings. Its hair is standing up, and it's just, you know, hey, even you can liberate a car, evidently, you know. Cruise control. It takes cruise control. Definitely cruise. Man, the insanity. The hits just keep on coming, man. The hits just keep on. Talk about renunciation. Now, I got to tell you something. I'll tell you afterwards, because I don't care. You guys can criticize me all you want. I don't care.
In Montreal, there was one devotee. His name is Dayal Nitai. He was a health yogi. He was a yogi.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know who this is one of the early devotees, one of the first devotees, Brahmananda. And I met Brahmananda many times. I wasn't buddies with him, but I met him many times. And I had prasadam with him, and he was good friends with Yashoda. And when I was with Yashoda in India, we were hanging out with Brahmananda a few times before Brahmananda passed away. Brahmananda was a big guy. He was a big guy, and he was overweight, and he was so overweight, so big and so overweight that he was having health problems, like, you know, like hip problems, had problems walking.
And he was into health, and he was criticizing that we're eating white rice.
And the reason I bring it up is because, you know, these guys are always preaching about controlling the senses, material desires, controlling the mind, controlling the senses. Being, you know, a yogi, being a devotee means being in control of your senses, worshiping Krishna, not following the four regulative principles, but also being steady in your mind, being in control. Well, that's what they say. Because the 26 qualities of a devotee or whatever they say, you know, it's everything good. It's like he's poetic, he's this, he's gentle, he's nice, he's happy, he's, you know, he's generous, he's compassionate, he's all these things. Which, yeah, you can be like, I can understand that. But being in control of your senses, being in control of your mind, being in control of your body, being in control. Does this look like a guy that's in control? He's definitely not in control of his knife and fork. This guy had an eating disorder, and the reason I'm not trying to knock him for his eating disorder. He's got an eating disorder. My wife had an eating disorder, and it killed her. She died. Colon cancer. She was big like Brahmananda. She was bigger. She was unhealthy. She died. So, I'm not like trying to just say, hey, he's just a big fat guy. No, this is unhealthy. This is unhealthy, and he did pass away. He did pass away, and but the reason I say it is because they're always preach. They never practice what they preach. It's just like Jayapataka. There's so many of these guys. He's not in. He can't control. Look. Some of these guys can't control their eating. Some guys can't control their sex urges. Some guys can't control, whatever it is that they're who knows what these guys are doing, but they're just not doing what they preach because this stuff doesn't work. And that doesn't mean that they can't follow the rules. They can. It takes willpower. There are people in the world that are following these rules and they're not devotees. They just don't do this stuff. They don't smoke cigarettes or do drugs. They don't eat meat. Maybe they're vegan or they're vegan or vegetarian, whatever. They don't gamble. They just don't gamble. Maybe they live in a country where gambling is illegal. They can't gamble if they wanted to. They don't have illicit sex. They have sex with their wife or whatever. There's a lot of people that control themselves and do like normal, just control they don't overeat, they don't oversex, they don't over anything. They're just living their lives. It doesn't make them special. It doesn't make them special. That's just their life. But this guy wants to preach. He's got the magic answer to everything, and yet he can't follow. He's not in control. Who knows what else he's doing? If he's overeating like that, what else is he doing? What else is he not honest with himself about? How can he sit there and preach all this stuff that Prabhupada preaches about, and then he just turns around and looks and goes, yeah, but I'm 450 pounds. Stuff in my face all the time. He's not just eating little bits of prasadam 3 times a day when the deity's eating. You think he could eat everything the deity has all day? He'd still be hungry. You guys eating. You got to eat to get to be that big. You don't just eat an extra hamburger now and then, get that size. Like Bill Burr says. Like Bill Burr said. You go, well, when you're around the guy, you go, he doesn't seem to be eating that much. He has this, he has that. But when the lights are out at midnight, all questions are answered. You go downstairs at 2 a.m. and turn on the light, and this guy's like, I don't know what it is, but this guy is not taking a little bit of prasadam here and there, and it end up like this. These people are not in control of anything. They're just not. They're just not. They're cosplaying, they're faking it. They're faking it till they make it, but they never make it. It's all faking. They never make it. If they'd make it, you wouldn't have Ramesvara running off with a 13-year-old girl. You wouldn't have Trivikram having sex with his 85-year-old disciple. you wouldn't have these things. You just wouldn't. This guy's gonna sit there. This guy's gonna sit there and preach about controlling your senses, following four regular principles, dude. Follow it. That's what I was saying about these. And it goes back to what I say about these Ritviks, man. They all like this pod guy and these other Ritviks. They don't want to talk about how they this and that and everything, but they don't want to go do it. You showed it not. You don't want to go live in a temple with his wife. Why do that? She got a house in Downey. Damagoji don't want to go live in a temple and preach all day and distribute books and lecture in the morning, get up 4:30 and go, no, he's got a farm in Cedro Woolley, Washington. Why does he want to do that? He can do whatever he wants. And the Shringa want to go live in a temple and get up at 4:30, Mangalarti, and do all that chanting, and then go book distribution, come back and go to temple and do all that shit. You want to do all that? No, he wants to live on his farm. Do whatever the fuck he wants. He get up when he wants, go to bed when he wants, do whatever the fuck he wants. And nobody telling him anything. Nobody's going to tell him when he can go to India, when he can't go to India, who he can go hang out with. You can't hang out with Tapa Darshan. I'll hang out with Tapa Darshan if I want to hang out with Tapa Darshan. Pod? Does Pod want to go? Paranjan want to go? Shit, they got a temple in San Jose. He's always bragging about this temple in San Jose. Does he want to go there and move in there and show us all how it's done? Show us all how it's done, Paranjan. Move into the temple in San Jose. Move in as a full-time devotee. Go on Hari Nam. Play your drum, your bombity bum bum, and your chingity ching chings, and go distribute your books. Show us how it's done, Paranjan. You can sit and talk all you want. Oh, the Ritviks are doing this, and I'm suing this guy, and I'm suing that guy, and I did this, and I did that, and I'm protecting women, and I'm protecting children, and I'm protecting all these people. You ain't protecting nobody. Go move into the temple and show us how it's done. Do something for real. Show me I'm wrong. Show me that it's real. Show me that all this bullshit is real. Show me that I'm wrong. Prove the Krishna cult watch people are wrong. Show us how it's done. Move into the temple. Move into your San Jose temple. Move into the Bangalore temple. Go move into a temple. There's lots of temples you can move into. There's a temple in Vrindavan you can move into. There's a temple in Jaya. There's temples all over. Man, you showed that Paranjan, Damagosh, these guys, that guy, ain't moving nowhere. They ain't going to no friggin' temple. Do anything. They're fucking bullet full of shit, just like this guy was. He wasn't living in no temple. You're going to sit there and preach. You're going to sit there and talk into a microphone, and you bring him a big fat plate of prasadam, he'll do that. But I ain't going to move into a temple. I did that when I was a kid. Well, what? So it's only good when you're a certain age. At a certain age, you got to stop. This is fucking bullshit. You guys are fucking full of bullshit. And look at this. Look at this friggin' insanity. You talk about some insanity. Look at this bullshit. Mass producing Prabhupada statues so Prabhupada can be worshipped all over, so that these friggin' freaks can worship this guy. They got a whole workshop where they just do nothing but make Prabhupada statues, so that Prabhupada can be, so that you can buy one, and then you can have Prabhupada in your own home. You can have Prabhupada, a life-size Prabhupada in your own home. You can wash his feet, drink the water, and all of that craziness. You're going to be a full-fledged mental patient with a full-size Prabhupada, this pedophile who had sex with an 11-year-old girl when he was 22 years old. You can have a statue of that man in your own home. Because if you don't have enough statues of pedophiles in your home, you might want to get this one. Friggin' insanity. So I got a couple more. I mean, hey, it's a full-on wheel of idiots. We got this guy. We got this guy. Oh my God. So you gotta remember what the expert knitting cult lady says. Just okay. You gotta remember what knitting cult lady says. She's the expert. She's a full-fledged cult expert. And she says, if you're celebrating your leader's birthday, you're in a cult. You're in a cult. It's just another one on the list. It's just another one on the list. Look at these nuts worshiping this guy. This guy who was in New Vrindavan when the guy was in the head. He was there. He was one of the guys that was celebrating. These people were celebrating when this guy got in the head. They had a big party. Big party where these fuckers were celebrating the murder of a devotee. How sick these people are, so sick. And he continues to be worshipped. Continues to be worshipped, this guy. Like he's somebody. Like he's done something in his life that these people should be. Look at him bowing down in front of him like he's God. Look at this. You can tell me this isn't a cult. They got this guy, got these gigantic posters and pictures and framed pictures and a whole big chair with pictures and flowers for this guy's birthday. Like, what the fuck did he do? What the fuck did he ever do? Except, a little of this. And they're gonna worship him like it's a friggin' movie, like it's a Broadway show. They're gonna. They are washing his feet like he is a god. And look, that is so disgusting. And then they're going to all eat that. They're going to drink it and eat it.
About the welfare of.
Now they're going to sit and they're going to talk about this guy like he is the second coming. Like he's God. Like he's done something other than sit and talk about fairy tales. Like he recites Mother Goose stories for a living. He literally recites bedtime stories for a living. And he lives off of this. He lives off these people donating money and working and slaving for this guy. So he can sit there, have his feet washed with yogurt. For doing nothing.
Not just his disciples, but all of the devotees within ISKCON. And the health not only of the devotees but also of the devotional community. So if there's...
You got nothing to say because this guy's never done anything. What does he fucking do? He sits on a little wooden seat and he reads from these books and he tells these stories and he preaches his bullshit about women having small brains and women like to be raped and women are 9 times lustier than men and they're Maya. And Maya Devi will capture your men and ruin your spiritual life, and Maya will ruin this, and Maya will ruin that. Well, who's Maya? Maya is all you women out there. We have to be vigilant against Maya, or Maya will drag us down, and it'll ruin our lives, and Maya this, and Maya will... Well, who's Maya again? All you women out there. You lusty, small brain, ignorant ass, stupid ass women. That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying Maya. And Guru Dev here is fighting Maya, man. Fucking
struggle or challenges, difficulties, Maharaj takes those circumstances and situations to heart and thinks of and gives advice and support.
I'm no body language expert, but there's some body language shit going on right now with this guy talking.
For the leaders of communities, not just here in Melbourne, but all over the world.
Sometimes devotees, they say, I'm getting initiated. And I say, oh, who are you getting initiated by? And when they say Dave and Rita Swami, I always say, you're so fortunate.
Yeah, everyone is so fortunate. You're so fortunate to get scammed by this guy. He's one of the best scammers we have. No better person to be scammed by than this guy. Boy, you really are fortunate to have come across this scammer. He's one of our best scammers, this guy. Fucking. All right, so I'm about ready to end it here, but we got to do we got a couple things we're gonna do. We got to do this, okay? This is always fun.
Pierre was born from 2 reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God. Pierre was born from 2 reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God.
Can you do that, you followers out there of the Hare Krishna movement and those sanghas? Can you taste the sweet essence of love, of the mellows, of those Vrindavan? Can you really, honestly? Can you do it? See? So read that again. I had more to say, but I forgot.
The Lord's desire to appear was born from 2 reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet.
Okay, but of course you can't taste. Hey, of course you Narayan Raj followers can't taste. Of course you ISKCON devotees can't. I'll be bold enough to say that. You can prove me wrong if you want.
Okay, so one thing I have to say about that is pretty funny because what he's saying is that Krishna appeared, the Lord appeared. I think he's saying the Lord Chaitanya appeared to taste the divine love of Krishna, whatever. And then he's saying, can you do that? Can you followers of ISKCON do that? Well, if it's so easy to do that, why did the Lord have to come and appear to do that? I mean, if it was so easy to do, why did it take the Lord to come personally to instruct how to do it? If it's so easy, evidently it's not an easy thing to do because the Lord had to come and do it. So you're taunting people and saying, "Can you do what the Lord came to do?" Can you do what the Lord came down to taste love of God? Can you do that, you Narayan Maharaj followers and you ISKCON people? Because I can do it. What he's saying, obviously, is that he can do it. And Hot Lips can do it. Hot Lips, yeah, like what the Lord came down to do, what the Lord came down to do, that is obviously very difficult to do. Hot Lips has no problem. I mean, she can do it like no problem at all. Watch her do it.
Was born from two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God.
Can you do that, you followers out there of the Hare Krishna movement and those sanghas? Can you taste the sweet essence of love, of the mellows, of those Vrindavan? Can you really, honestly? Can you do it? So, read that again. I had more to say, but
So obviously so obviously what he's implying is that he can do it and Hot Lips can do it. We can't do it. We can't do it, but Hot Lips can do it. The bowing to Dave Amrita. The battle for Maya, the battle for that kiwi, man. It's a struggle. Okay, getting good kiwi is like getting good rice. It's not easy. It's not easy to get good kiwi or good rice. And when you come across some good rice, you know, it's like, hey, where'd you get that good? Hey, where'd you get that good rice? Where'd you get that good rice? But Hot Lips, the crazy. So when he's talking about tasting the mellows of love of God, do we know what he's talking about? Let me show you what he's talking. Let me show you what he's talking about. So this is
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna.
I love how he's like, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Yeah, to get that good rice. Getting good rice is ain't easy, man. Oh man, taste the essence of Charlotte Tilbury. It's the blowing of the nose, man. It's thinking that he's got he's got it all figured out, man. This Gaurahari's got it all figured out. But you know what's really disgusting, though? I gotta tell you, what's really disgusting is this: to actually use this woman. To use this woman and her issues that she has. I don't know what her issues are, but she has some issues. To use her in this way to promote himself as like, hey, look at this person. She's loving God better than you can love God because of course, he's the one who's responsible for her. And for him to be using her in this way, whether she agrees to it or not, is really not the point. The point isn't whether she agrees to it. The point is the fact that he feels that this is appropriate to exploit her to promote himself, and he can't even recognize. And he's supposed to be some guru, some self-realized guru, and he can't recognize that she has some issues. She's got some issues, man. And you are not making them better. You are not helping her. You are not. All your snot blowing and your snot rags and all of that shit is not helping this poor woman. In fact, the longer she goes without getting the real help that she needs is making her problems worse. And the more that she thinks that you are saving her or doing something to help her and giving her something is sinister. It's evil and sinister. What he's doing to this woman is just straight out. It's friggin' ugh. So anyway, okay. That's my rant on that. He's blowing his conch shell. He's blowing his conch shell. It's too funny, man. It is, and he says that my criticizing him shows just how little understanding I have of transcendental knowledge. That if I had transcendental knowledge, I would not be making offenses to him and his blowing his nose. If I had any sense. Okay, so I'm going to finish up with this. I just want to show you this. You know, this just shows you the mentality of this cult, and this is what you can look forward to if you join this cult and you're in it for any length of time. Seriously, and I'm not joking. And I don't mean to be, and I don't wish any hardship on anybody. I don't. I don't wish hardship on anyone. But you gotta look at this. Okay, this is a donate to help Kunkum and her son be with Srimati Shamarani. Okay, that's Jadharani, I guess. It used to be Jadharani. Wait a minute. What does it say? There's something going on between them. You know what? I don't even want to think about that. You know, there may or may not be. I really don't want to even go there because that's even worse to think about. But you know, you could be. You know, you may be right about that. So here it says, a few months ago, I was really struggling spiritually, so I spent some time with Srimati Shamarani Didi in Miami, and I think that's Jadharani, old Prabhupada disciple. Even after a few days of doing seva, going to classes, I felt much better. After some reflection, under the guidance of some senior Vaishnavis, with the blessings from Srimati Shamarani Didi and Sripad Bhaktivedanta Siddhanta Maharaj, I decided to move my trailer to a small plot of land 5 minutes from sacred Vedic arts for my own spiritual benefit and the benefit of my son. Okay, so a bunch of people talked her into moving her trailer to a small plot of land 5 minutes from where these people live, I guess. She says, I had to quit my job to move there, so I paid the entire 6 months of rent up front, along with over $1,000 to set up electricity and septic. I have plans for income, but I need to get situated first. So they talked her into moving her trailer, and so she did. And for her spiritual benefit and the benefit of her son, she quit her job to move her trailer there. She spent thousands of dollars to set it up. She had to pay 6 months rent up front. And she doesn't have a job. She just has plans to get a job. She just has plans to get a job. She doesn't have a job because she quit her job to move her trailer. She paid all this money. Okay. Now she says, it's funny how things happen. Everything was working out fine until I noticed I was experiencing shortness of breath and headaches in our 1999 trailer. We have been living in it for about 1.5 years. I noticed mold before, but always wiped it off and thought nothing of it. But it has gotten worse. A mold expert told me it would cost the same amount of money to simply buy a new trailer. That it would cost the same and to just buy a new trailer. This is not an expense I planned for, and this is why, under the instruction of Srimati Shamarani Devi Didi, I am humbly asking for help from the worldwide devotee community. Many of you know me. I am a complete fool. Yeah, I would agree there. My son, on the other hand, is a sweet devotee and deserves to have a close relationship with Srimati Shamarani. She named him, gave him his first grains, his first haircut. Having a close relationship with her is his best chance at never taking birth again. I pray that you all find it in your hearts to help us buy a new trailer so we can stay near Srimati Shamarani and do seva together here. Anything helps. Your aspiring servant, Kunkamangi Devi Das. So now you can ask for help for anything, and I don't knock anybody for asking for help. If you want to ask for help, ask for help. With these Hare Krishnas, this is what, if you're in the cult or you're just getting involved or you're thinking about getting involved or you've been involved, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They talked her. She says it right here. After some reflection, under the guidance of some senior Vaishnavis, and with the blessings from Srimati Shamarani and Sripad Bhaktivedanta Siddhanti Maharaj, I decided to move my trailer to a small plot of land 5 minutes from the sacred Vedic arts. So they talked her into moving. They talked her into it. They told her, look, they worked her to get her to move that trailer over there for whatever reason. Free labor. Remember, the cult's about free labor. So they just wanted her close by so they could use her for book distribution or whatever they wanted. It's not just out of the goodness of their heart that they talked her into moving her trailer to 5 minutes from their property. Did they give a fuck that she had to quit her job? I had to quit my job to move there, so I paid the entire 6 months of rent up front. 6 months rent up front. Along with $1,000 to set up electricity and septic. And she had to move the trailer, so that costs something to move it. And she has no plans. She says, I have plans for income, but I need to get situated first. So she didn't have plans. She just plans on getting a job. I'll get a job. I got 6 months rent paid. I don't have any money. Do they care? How come Bhaktivedanta Siddhanti Maharaj is not footing the bill for this? How come Srimati Shamarani's not footing the bill for this? Oh, they'll talk you into moving all your shit and going into debt and being broke in a moldy trailer, but they ain't going to help you out. This is what's best for her son? To be around these people that talked her into moving and quitting her job? She had a job. She wasn't begging. She had a job. She had a paycheck. She had a paycheck. She had a trailer. She had her son. She was happy. And then all of a sudden, now they want her. A few months ago, I was struggling spiritually. So she's struggling spiritually. So now you know what that means. She was having trouble chanting her rounds. She was having trouble chanting her rounds, so she went to spend some time with Shamarani in Miami, and they told her, why don't you just move down here. Move your trailer down here. Quit your job and move down here. So without thinking, she says, yeah, okay, I'll figure out a way to do that by hook or by crook, even if I can't afford it. Even if I can't afford it, I can't afford it, and I'm going to quit my job too. So I can go move my trade. And now I'm asking, how much is she asking for in this stupid GoFundMe thing? Oh, she just wants $5,500. That's all she wants. She wants $10,000. She wants $10,000. They've given her $5,000 already. She's asking for 10,000. She's got 5,000. Freaking insanity. I ain't giving you any money. I got to pay my own rent. I got my own rent and my own bills to pay. No one, well, they did tell her. They told her. Why aren't they paying? The ones that talked you into it. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj or whatever the fuck his name is. And Shamarani. No, they talked you, they got a reason she wants to live in your trailer. Somebody wants to live in your trailer. Somebody wants something from you. They didn't just tell you to move down there, move your trailer, quit your job because that's the best thing for your son. For you to be out of a job and to be begging on the internet for $10,000 so that you can, what the fuck kind of people are these? Sociopathic conditioning. This is insanity. This is pure insanity. Who would do that? Who would do that? I quit my job and moved back home because my mother was dying. I had to take care of her full time, 24 hours a day. She just got up and moved so she could go be with Shamarani. She didn't have to do that. She didn't have to put herself through this hardship. She had a job. She had a job. She had a trailer. She just didn't want to chant anymore. That's all. Now they talked her into, oh, it's not the chanting. It's because you're way over there. You need to come over here. You need to come over here with your trailer. Now she needs a new trailer. Now her trailer, whatever the fuck it is, she needs 10 grand. And what happens when that 10 grand is gone? Then what is she going to do? Is she going to go back on GoFundMe and say, hey, I need 6 months of rent. I need another $5,000, $8,000 for my next 8 months of rent. And we were just talking about online about these Hare Krishnas is nothing but scams. Scam for a living. To use this scam or that scam. Water filter scam. Pyramid scheme scam. Ponzi scheme scam. This scam, that scam. I know so many scams. Guy trying to sell me water purification, trying to sell me lawyer insurance, trying to sell me who knows what they were trying to sell me. Always trying to raise money for this. Oh, we're going to put up a Prabhupada library. We're going to put up a Prabhupada statue. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Can you donate money? After this, like the second time I donated money, I was like, get away from me with that. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't going to do nothing. They were going to dig up the temple room floor and put a heating system underneath that pumped hot water through the floor. It would heat up the cold floor. And they went around raising money for that. Everybody's giving $5, $10. They never built nothing. That money went into somebody's pocket. And we all felt stupid for believing that crap. You told this lady to move to Miami, move her trailer, and spend 6 months rent, pay 6 months rent, and now she's so broke. If you're going on GoFundMe to raise money, you gotta be broke. And if you're not broke and you're on GoFundMe and you got money and you're asking people for donations with a sad story and you've got money, fuck you. That's all I can say. And all the people that told her to move and do this and do that. They're the ones that should be giving you the fucking $10,000. They should all be giving you $2,500 each. Get this shit over with. Fucking scam. Hey, Eliana, man, good to see you. So glad you're in here. I'm about done. This has gone way over. I wanted to do this thing, Shamarani, because it's just another example of this cult, what they brainwash. I mean, if they had told this woman, hey, join the Hare Krishnas, and then, when you get older, you're going to be living in a trailer, in a moldy-ass trailer, you'll be broke as hell, and then you're going to be on the internet begging people for money just to friggin' feed your kid. What do I want that for? The fuck I want that for? Typical ISKCON and Gaudiya Maths are the ones with a lot of scammers and con men selling nothing for nothing. The Sahaja Babas never asked me for money or buying their BS. I know. Exactly. Prabhupada says, don't go to the Radhakund Babajis. Oh, they ain't scamming you like this. They might want a donation, and they'll show you how to put the flowers in the Radhakund. But they ain't gonna take you for no ride like this. And we're all taught to hey, don't talk to nobody at the Radhakund. Don't talk to nobody because they're all scammers. They're all this that. Don't give them money. Don't do anything. Just go and do your thing. And we all go to the Radhakund and we're like, oh, don't talk to the Babajis and don't talk to nobody and everything. They're just the ordinary guys there. It's the ISKCON people that are the freaking scammers. They're the ones. Again, and probably again, he says in his books, if you go to Vrindavan, don't mess with the Brajavasis because they're not devotees; they're just Brajavasis. They're better than devotees. The Brajavasis is the whole reason why you go to Vrindavan. If you go to Vrindavan and you're not interacting with the Brajavasis and you just think that they're all in Maya, then you're out of your mind. Running after that Kiwi, man. Listen, everybody, I want to thank everybody for joining in today. Say no to cults. Say no to cults. I want to thank everybody for watching today. And Scammer Prabhupada, absolutely. Everybody out there, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm getting up there with I'm getting up there with the subscribers. I don't need donations. I don't need any donations, man. But if you want to donate to Kumkum and her son, right here, it just says donate to help Kumkum and her son be with Srimati Shamarani. So if you want to help give $10,000 to help Kumkum and her son go be with Shamarani, you can do that. I don't need your donations. But please like, share, and subscribe. I'm getting up there with the subscribers, which is great, a milestone for me, and it helps push my videos out. More people can see them and become aware. I'm really into this now. I mean, this has taken over my whole identity and personality. I mean, I went from being like this, this comedian guy to just being like this cult guy. I'm like this cult guy now. And so I'm embracing it. I'm really embracing the whole cult thing after a year and a half. So 10,000, I'd rather stay in Thailand. I know, right? It's like, I don't know what this lady, she got, I'm just saying, she got taken for a ride. There's a reason why they told her to move, and it's not because they just thought it was best for her. They thought it was best for them if she moved. It ain't nothing best for her. Quitting her job and moving that trailer from wherever it was to Miami and spending 6 months rent up front, that was not for her benefit. That was for their benefit. So that's just crazy. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. Everybody, please have a great day, a great night, great morning, great afternoon, wherever you are. Have some great luck. Please stay out of a cult. And for all the new people out there, because I know there's new people every day watching, someone new's watching in the background. Here's me as a Hare Krishna once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away.